The Daily Express 1968 London to Sydney Marathon offered a challenge and an opportunity to see the other side of the world. A chance to drive the Wilson's BMC 1800 entry was eagerly taken, and I met my co-drivers Tony Wilson and Francis MacDonald to prepare plans. The intervening weeks were spent training, getting fit and preparing the car. Francis MacDonald, being the technical man of the team, prepared the engine, spending many hours at the bench in his workshop at Pike Engineering, Carshalton. Trips to Abingdon kept us fully aware of the work specifications, and friendly advice was given freely from the competition staff. Special tuning sections supplied many extras for our growing brainchild. In a London Muse, Jean Denton, suffering from the same shortage of time as the rest of us, displays her MGB, and the local law takes an interest. Saturday, before the off at Crystal Palace, was spent checking documents and signing away one's worldly rights. One of the marathon favourites, Peter Harper, does a final chore. And our carriage to Australia is ready, despite all the problems and frustrations. Jean Denton has the MG's electrics checked. Cowcatchers and rhubars were indeed a feature of the Porsche team. A good each-way bet, Nick Britton and the ace Roger Clark in their high-horned Cortinas, with Bert Soderstrom to add weight to the Ford entry. A likely contender, Andrew Cowan, checks in. John Cotton arrives in the sole Peugeot entry. Amongst the busy scene, the Jim Russell racing team prepare for their longest race so far. Formalities over, some competitors amble off for their last night in a bed that isn't on the move. Schellenberg's Bentley Tourer seems restless, despite its weight of almost 40 years. The queue was orderly and the scrutineering very broad-minded. Only the same body and engine block had to arrive at the finish to qualify. The John Davenport Terry Hunter Porsche edges in with its camel-loaded tanks. Our turn arrives, and passed by the official eye, we go home for the last time. Sunday, the 24th November, the start of the marathon, and the palace is ablaze with people. Our thoughts are on Australia and the journey to come. Bill Burrows of British Leyland Special Tuning passes our powerhouse A1. There's a growing air of excitement. The marathon atmosphere is building up. Family and friends chatter, the children play, and we make conversation. But our minds are on other things. Eric Jackson takes it easy, and the colourful Dutch national team pose for pictures, while another competitor takes the edge off his thirst. Out of the 100 entries, there are only 2 non-starters, which speaks highly for the crew's efficiency in preparation. A last-minute pep talk from the organisers. Jack Sears, Tommy Sopwith and John Gott say their piece. And Sir Max Aitken rounds it off with a few expressly chosen words. Primed on the rules, the plastic hut empties. Soderstrom palms one off. And Rosemary Smith, like the rest, makes for her mount. Soon the engines are ticking, ready for the off. Final farewells are made as zero time draws near. Soon the marathon cars are launched from the pad, and our turn arrives to roll down the human tunnel of well-wishers. Thousands of friendly faces give us a feeling of pride as we settle in our mobile homes to Australia for the 10,000 miles of driving in 10 days. The flag drops and we're off. Through Dulwich Village and Parliament Square. We check our watches by Big Ben as we head across the Thames into the twilight. On to Dover, cheered by an estimated crowd of 2 million lining the route. Our thoughts are well ahead to the waiting Channel ferry, Calais, France. With good old England behind us, we tackle the wet mist to the control at Le Bourget. No time now for these luxuries, worse luck, so we belt off into the damp night. Failing to find the advertised gendarme escort, we make it on our own without trouble. Monday morning, but without that Monday feeling. A wayside stop to stretch legs, air the view, and check that the engine is in order. Time is on our side, so we take it easy towards the Italian border. Pace varies depending on team plans. Works teams can beat it up with the comforting knowledge that maintenance crews await them at the next control point. We, private entrants, must do our own dirty work, so we tend to drive steadier. Mont Blanc Tunnel and into sunny Italy. Competition numbers are officially covered to hide the car's sporting intentions and identity. A gentle canter to the Turin control and a welcome chance to use civilization's amenities. British Leyland's competition manager, Peter Browning, cracks his whip. Like all of us, he's conscious of the passing of time. Graham White and John Latroupe compare notes. The tires rumble off once more. Forgetful of our drill, the Twin Master is set a little late. As the day settles, we do the same and cross the Yugoslav border in the night. A cold dawn finds us still on the road, unlike Mr. Woodley and his battered Ventura. The crew seem grateful for the thick Italian coffee we left with them. Breakfast time in Belgrade, and interest in the marathon is tremendous. The Yugoslavs must be wondering if they've been invaded. The French Citroen seems in a hurry. As we continue our peaceful way through Yugoslavia and into Bulgaria, Australian Holdens flash by on the straights. We press on towards the Istanbul control, and Stuart Turner and Tony Ambrose do the honours. Leaving Istanbul, it doesn't take long to cross the Bosphorus, and with Europe behind us, we're really deep in the marathon. We push the 1800 to the sopping roads of Turkey, while flinching from the suicidal tendencies of local drivers. Herman's red Porsche overtakes us as we paddle on towards the first real test at Sivas. Villagers go about their business unconcerned with that routine stop before we tackle the mountains of Erzincan. The border crossing took only seconds instead of the expected hours, and friendly looks greet us as we enter Iran with its change of scenery. By now we can sleep anywhere, at any time. Next morning finds us speeding across the desert to the Afghan border. Across the 1,500-mile section from Iran to Kabul, though, we failed to beat the official time of 23 hours plus. Through the rugged section by the Khyber River and up to the frontier. Down the remarkably good roads from the Khyber Pass, with only the rugged countryside to remind us of its years of bloody history. The villagers of Landi Kotal have a grandstand view as the cars pass through the main street. A century ago, a regiment of cavalry would have been needed as an escort here. Passport particulars at the West Pakistan border are mercifully brief, but we have time for a quick cuppa. Now for the plains of India, leading to Delhi and then south towards Bombay. A journey full of variety, with our weather eye open for those sacred cows we've been warned about. Today we're well on the way to Bombay, with the temperature a pleasant change from our usual Novembers. Rosemary Smith enjoys our dust cloud. Preview of the Australian outback. At Indore, the people come out in their thousands to welcome us. A foretaste of the overwhelming reception expected in Bombay. The sun sinks in tropical splendor, but all we can think of just now is the dust in our throats and the ache in our backs. Petrol is drained, cars and drivers are steam cleaned, and we're ready for shipment to Australia. Horizontal at last, we make the most of the sea voyage and the vivid blue of the Indian Ocean. Roger Clark plays deck chairs, and Altonen and Bianchi join forces and try their hand at deck tennis. The ninth day at sea finds us all lining the ship's rail for the first glimpse of Aussie land. The reception at Fremantle is tremendous. The trotting track at Perth sees the start of the 3,000-mile dash to Sydney. North to You and Me, and then south again to Marvel Lock and Lake King, without setting eyes on even one small kangaroo. The Mullabore plain was featureless and apparently uninhabited. Time for fuel and tire checks. The Moscovich with the Russian crew are eager to be off. The Volvo girls pass us on the straight, but we catch them again in the rough. Luckily, the heat is bearable. The notorious Australian dust mummifies us, and our liquid intake increases dramatically. They don't have potholes in this part of Australia, just craters, dust and more dust. It makes life very interesting, and the one shortcut we try is expensive. Urgent attention becomes needed underneath, and Doug Watts with his British Leyland team change a hydroelastic unit in less than 20 minutes. But we're still a little crabwise as we push on through the Blue Mountains. It's easy to see how they got their name. Our tyres need changing again as they scrub out quickly thanks to the little misalignment. Luckily, it didn't happen earlier. But our drive to Sydney is nearly completed, and in the quiet of the evening, we check into Warwick Farm and the finish. The following day, with the other 55 surviving marathon cars, we join in the triumphant drive to the heart of Sydney and an unforgettable welcome. The wonderful reception of the competitors by the peoples of the world has indeed made the marathon a truly international event. Like the winners, Andrew Cowan, Brian Coyle and Colin Malkin, we too are delighted that we made Sydney intact. Condolences to Roger and congratulations to Andrew and his crew, and here's to the next marathon in 1972.